An important part of what we do here is help parents of children with serious illnesses tell their stories. It takes courage. It can also feel really, really good, because at their core, these are love stories. And often, there are love stories within love stories. And nowhere is that more the case than with the family you are about to meet. Let me introduce you to Ben and Allison, parents of 4 beautiful children, Julia, Wilbur, and soulmates, Beckett and Clementine.
She was so sassy and had just this way about her. She was all attitude. Beckett was totally laid back, really mellow, really smiley. He loved nice, cool weather. He loved the wind in his face. And Clementine was the opposite. She was really sassy. She liked hot weather. She wanted to sit in the sun and sweat. I think people get so caught up in getting better, and in reality, not everyone's gonna get better. You have to be able to live in the kind of in-between. Exactly the same time that Beckett got sick when he was almost 2, Clementine got sick. Beckett was impatient, and I'll never forget our nanny called me and said, "Clementine's not acting right. I'm gonna take her to the emergency room." And her calling me and saying they're bringing her up in the helicopter, and me going from the 11th floor where Beckett was downstairs to the emergency room. And there was Clementine, and I laughed because I said, "Oh, well, I'll always think about that 4th of July that both the kids were impatient at the same time." And it really hit me then that we had no idea what we were doing. The first time we did it, we had a parade of people in here because we wanted everyone to say goodbye to her before
Clementine
she went
was
to be
definitely
cremated.
almost like an Irish wake. The entire immediate family was full of
there was so much
whiskey,
food,
coffee, and
there was
aunties
music.
and aunties.
I mean, it was good. It was good. The windows were open. It was a nice day. I remember it was a nice day.
Yeah.
And people came in and out, and they got to hold her upstairs in her room, and there was tons of food. I remember there was lots of food, and there was lots of alcohol. That's what people send you when your child dies, is food and alcohol and weird magazines. With Beckett, it was a lot quieter. People asked if they could come over, and we said no, because it was so draining to carry the weight of other people's sadness. People were sad, and I completely understand, but at that point, Ben and I were the center of the circle, and we were so sad, and we couldn't carry the weight of the outside circles. We couldn't. And with Beckett, we got to do it again, and we did it quieter and smaller, and they were always such a yin and a yang, one liked the heat and one liked the cold, and one had a really loud wake and the other one had no wake and was just quiet. Not everybody's meant to grow old. I think people find that very unnatural, but I think it happened just the way it was supposed to. I do. I don't think you have to be 80 to live a good life. Not at all. And I take a lot of comfort in that, knowing that I think we did the best we could.
One of the things that kept us going without us even realizing it was we weren't really focused on them dying. We were focused on how much fun can these guys have regardless of any timeline or number.
I can't be sad about the kids but then not think about how awesome they were or how much fun we had. There was so much good in the little bit of time that we had. And we made it a priority to do the really good stuff, go to the beach, go to the movies, because Beckett could see the screen and it was really loud and it was just his cup of tea. And we made the extra effort to go out and do those things, and it was so worth it. It was so worth it. It was so interesting that they always mirrored each other. They were like puzzle pieces. And I was so surprised that Beckett didn't die sooner, because she came so quickly after he was born. We treated them as twins. They were the same developmentally, so they played together a lot and they held each other's hands. There was 8 weeks in between when Clementine and Beckett died, and it was a hard 8 weeks for him. I think he felt alone. They were like a little old couple. They were their own soulmates. I remember being devastated. They said he's going to be severely mentally retarded. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, he's never gonna love someone. Like, he's never gonna get married. Clementine was totally his soulmate. They were best friends. They got each other on a level that even Ben and I didn't get. It was like this, like the language that twins speak in. It was like that. Just, they didn't have to say anything to each other, and they were so close.